Oi, what does awakening feels like and what is it? Awakening does not discriminate. Does not discriminate with age, race, sex, or gender at all. Anybody can become awake at any current time. Some people take psychedelics to become awake, such as 5-MeO, DMT, masculine, ayahuasca, whatever. For me, my awakening happened so naturally, so much that I don't even know if anything happened. Am I awake? Am I not awake? What was it like before? What was it like not before? I don't know, bro. I can't explain to you. Did anything happen really? Am I awake? Am I really awake? That's the first instant of awakening is you question whether this is real. There's voices in the background. You struggle. There's a sort of confusion because you are in a state where many people talk so beautifully about it and romanticize it, and they spoke so wonderfully and candidly about this state, this unknown state that you've never been in, and then you find yourself in it. Awakening is the moment you realize that nobody's above you. So let's say you think Sadhguru is awake, then you realize Sadhguru is not awake. All you did was put him on a pedestal. The Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, whoever you hold in high regard and high value, you begin to see, not even see, you live, you are in the actual state that those people, those prophets that people speak of, those gurus, you are in that state. Currently, you don't believe you are. That's what you are asleep. And then you help yourself fall asleep. So how do you help yourself fall asleep? You tell yourself lies. Little white lies to big lies, and sometimes you use illicit substances or drugs to put yourself to sleep. But in actuality, we are all awake. You are awake. It sounds so ridiculous, bro, and people try to make this so fantastical and magical, and I was this and that, and bro, it's nothing like that. You're just light on your feet, and for the first time, you realize that there's no power outside of you. That's it. And if there is, then every power that is out there, outside of you, is also within you. As above, so below, blah, blah, blah. An awakened being will look at me and just smile and keeps on going about his day. Why would he need to bow down to me? Why would he need to praise me? Why would he have to listen to anything I have to say? An awakened man or woman will not care about me whatsoever, bro. They'll just go on about their day, la di da di da. You are awake. There's nothing mystical or magical. If you want to fasten the experience, which is something people never tell you, awakening is a petty little experience. It's different to enlightenment. Awakening is different to enlightenment. Anybody can become awake at any stage in their life, at any age, in any country. But it's a lot different to enlightenment. And I think I'll have to discuss enlightenment at a different time. My first awakening was at 21 or 22, and it was very confusing. Very confusing, bro. It happened in North Melbourne. I live in the suburbs of Melbourne, so 30 minutes away from where I am, North Melbourne. And my first awakening was in a park. And I just stared at the statue, bro. I was not, I think we smoked about weed, that's it, before or after, like a few hours before. So it wasn't like drug induced to the max where I'm doing ayahuasca or like DMT and I'm so awakened. My awakening happened gradually, sober and sort of helped by uh, very strong strains of marijuana. That did kind of help, so I'm not gonna lie to you. But it happened a lot without the use of marijuana before that. And my first awakening was so scary that I didn't want to tell anybody for a long time, being from an immigrant African background where people, if you spoke about this, bro, someone would think you have some mental problems. But it felt so peaceful, so relaxed, something as if I've never I've never really seen life before. It's as if I opened my eyes for the first time at 21. And I just sat there in North Melbourne. There's a park in North Melbourne, and just touched the grass and just felt it. And just watch people with their dogs walk around, and I could just see myself in everyone, and everything was beautiful, bro. The flowers look different, the trees look different. I once even stared at a statue, and I was like, I have been here for a million years. A billion years, not a million years. And the statue of some random person I've never seen before. And I will go back to that statue. I need to learn the name of the guy on that statue. And I just stared at the statue, bro, and I could see myself in the statue and how everything is beautiful and how this garden is amazing. But I couldn't see it all before because I was living in the world of ideas. That's what stops you from becoming awake is we live in the world of ideas. We have created culture and then we distance ourselves from Mother Earth, from Gaia. Now I sound like these spiritual people. God damn it. I want to demystify what I am saying. There's no mystical thing, no spiritual boo boo woo woo Deepak Chopra in what I'm telling you. It is very real. That's awakening is very real. But it's just a petty little experience compared to enlightenment. Because that's permanent. Right? I used to say life that nothing in life is permanent, everything is impermanence. But once you become awake, like Dick Gregory says, I'm not awake. Awakening is sort of like life is teasing you, like, look, you've never seen this before, have you? It's like when you're having sex and you've never piped some part of the pussy, like in that Kanye West, Chris Rock. I ain't never seen that part of you. Who taught you? Easy taught me. You're fucking a part of pussy of life that you've never fucked before. And for the first time, you're aware and you're just like, damn, I've never piped this part of the pussy before. What is this? Why is it so wet? That's life. That's awakening. You're piping and tapping into a part that you've never tapped in before. And it just surprises you and kicks you back. But it was always there. It's just that you got in your way. You put yourself to sleep because being awake is too real. It's too raw. It's as if all your fantasies and all your delusions have just drifted away and you watch them drift away. And now you're left in the world of the real. That's awakening in a nutshell. For anybody that has never become awake, we all don't have the same experience, even though I would make the argument that we do. It's just a little petty experience after all. So somebody who would take some sort of a psychedelic could experience a whole symphony of life in an instant, in their mind. I don't know. The whole religious, the whole culture, the whole history, all will come up. You, what you believe, who you are, all comes up, bubble up. And you experience that. And you experience it at first hand, personally. You can never explain it to anyone. You can never transmit that information to anybody. You can never convince anyone. You just look like a madman. Awakening, simply put, is the state that you are in right now. If you are sober, assuming you're sober, you are awake. You're halfway there, bro. Then when you're sober, you don't like the state of the world because it's too scary. So you take something. You medicate yourself. You pacify yourself through music, through psychedelic, through illicit substances, whatever it is, through love, through sex, through everything you can think of. And you put yourself to sleep because it's just too, what's the word here? Help me out, brother. Help me. You are the wordsmith, not me. It's just too raw. Life is just too raw and you can't stand it. So you put yourself to sleep. And then one day you grow some balls and you want to see it. And Mother Nature goes, and Father Time goes, hold my hand real quick. Then they hold your hand and they run really fast, and they throw you off the cliff. And you have the choice to either start flying yourself or freak out and go back. That's awakening. If you have the balls to not freak out and you fly by yourself, and you start to see things differently. If you don't allow yourself to fly and you just drop down, you go back to deluding yourself. You go back to medicating yourself again because what you saw was too real and you put yourself back to sleep. You're no longer awake. But I do make the argument that everybody is awake. Every single person is awake. But you put yourself to sleep because it's too painful to be awake, too real. And then you go around, what does awakening feel like? What are you talking about? You're already in it, bro. Just trying to find somebody to confirm and comfort comfort you. Go and find some girl who's dressed nicely with spiritual things all around her to tell you beautiful words. I'm not that guy, bro. I know you're awake. I know you because you are me and I'm you. And there's no separation. The only separation came from culture. When culture separated me and you and separate yourself from the animals and from the earth, from the ground. Go and walk barefoot. That is the ever, first ever test. If you ever want to be awake, go walk barefoot. I remember first time thinking of walking barefoot. I'm in Byron Bay, bro, in Queensland. And I see this kid walk into a store with his dad with no shoes. Yes, in Australia, we can walk into the shops with no shoes. It's actually a nice flex. You're in the summer. Summer's coming up soon. We're in June. I think July is the start of the spring, and then summer comes, creeps in around. I think August is still cold. September around there. I try to walk bare feet. I'm like, these white people are crazy. I put my shoes back on, bruh. And then one day, I was like, you know what? I walked to the park, and I'm like, I'm at the park. It's like a 600 meters away from my house. Let me walk another kilometer. And then kilometer turned to 2, and then 3 miles for you American. I walked 3 miles. By the time I walked 4 miles, I realized I was so far away from the house with no shoes on. And I just laughed my head off near the train station. Laughed my head off at how far I came with no shoes. And this other black nigga comes through and he's like, bruh, you know you look crazy, right? I don't know him, but these black people, bro, we feel comfortable. He goes, bro, you know you look crazy, right? Like you got no shoes. I know you might not be crazy because you don't look unstable and shit. You dress nice, you just don't have the shoes on. Like, did somebody rob your shoes or something? I'm like, nah, bro. I just chose to walk bare feet. He looked at me, he's like, okay. Well, you have a nice day, brother. You too, my brother. That's how you become awake. The first time you start to interact with with Mother Nature, with Earth, and you actually start to appreciate it so much so you don't care what other people think. Like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs used to walk bare feet so he can create these phones that you're watching me on. Well, he was apparently he's a horrible person, but at least he was in touch with Mother Nature. You want to be awake? Go walk bare feet. That's the first task. From there, figure it out. Bye bye. You will figure it out. I know you will.